it good for? It's good for you. It's good for me. Oh, war. Oh, what is it good for? Oh, it strengthens the economy.
There we go, we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Denarius. For those who are not familiar with me, I'm hosting of this show, Vtuber Gaming Talk, in which I invite a Vtuber to just nerd about video games for 1 hour or more or less. So today, I have a very special guest that I'm really happy that he made it. He made it in. Like I wasn't expecting that, but hey, thank you for being here, Wukiki. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Wukiki. I yell about video games on twitch.tv/Wukiki_. I'm not World of Warships Wukiki. All those are lies that the government wants you to believe. Otherwise, I do the thing with the video games and the controllers, and that's about it.
Everybody does that here, though. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, like Wukiki said, I do mostly the same here. Like, if I'm not doing this show, I'm playing video games. Like no tomorrow. Like 24/7 almost. So yeah, let me start with the usual question I usually ask to the guest. What would you think are your favorite games? You can pick more than one.
Well, Custom Robo on the GameCube has been my favorite game for like ever. I can't really deny my love for that game, despite it being mediocre at best. Guess the only other thing that I could really say is OG Punch-Out was the first game I ever beat in my life, so that one holds a very, very soft place in my heart. Outside of that, goodness, I guess adventure-wise, the Sam and Max games are really, really fun. So there's those. Oh, recent would probably be I got into Postal, and now I'm just playing all the Postal games except for 3, because 3 is hot doggy doo-doo. So
yeah. Well, I guess it's fine. Like the original Punch Out, though, I actually wanted to play that sometime this year. Like it's something that I still own to myself. I played through the first couple of boxers, but I never passed. I think it was Tiger, the one I stopped with, because of the teleportation on the NES was bullshit.
oh yeah,
If you don't know.
was just delete the fucking frame, so that way you weren't allowed to fucking know what to do.
Yeah, it was bullshit, but I also wanted to try out the Wii version. The Wii version, when I first saw that, whoa, that seems super fun. Like, holy shit. But when it comes to more modern games, I've been playing through the whole series of the Devil May Cry just recently. And trust me when I tell you, everybody, when they say 2 is really bad, it's not bad in the sense that it's unplayable. It's super boring. But yeah, someone needs to tank it, you know? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, alongside the I'm looking at the playlist, so I have a kind of a base of questions to do. So I'm seeing a little bit of Marvel vs. Capcom here. What's your experience with the series?
Fuck, I played MVC2 and Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, I think is the that one. Yeah, it was Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, and then X-Men versus Street Fighter. So I never enjoyed Infinite. The first Marvel vs. Capcom was okay. And 3, controversial take on my end. 3 is good, but I also am not really a fan of its art style, so I just never really got into it. But I ran a few tournaments long ago. I didn't do too well, but I loved playing those games mainly because there's a lot of Capcom games that I just never got to play, and so I got to see these characters from shit that I didn't know what it was, and then I started being able to find all that stuff. Like Captain Commando is it's a very interesting beat 'em up that I never got to play until super later in my life. But I saw the character in MVC2 and was like, ooh, I wonder who this guy is. He's like Captain Falcon, but like cooler because he's anime, and I have no frame of reference outside of that. So is that, and also Strider Hero was in it, and I love Strider. Strider is a fantastic fucking franchise. I just, I picked my team because I liked the characters. I didn't pick for synergy ever.
Honestly, same. Like when I first played, I think it was MVC2. The only thing I was picking was Street Fighter characters because I was familiar with them. But then I branched out for a little bit with the Marvel characters and found out some of them are really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I just picked up Deadpool. I just had fun with it. Just because I really liked the character before it and enjoyed my time. And thanks to, I think in part it's thanks to MVC3 that I tried the Devil May Cry series, because like Trish, Dante and Virgil, all of them are fun to play on that game. And it also holds true to the games, like DMC3 Dante is super fun to play in both MVC and in the Devil May Cry 3 game. It's insane.
Much better than DMC Devil May Cry Dante and PlayStation All Stars.
Oh god. I mean, I'm going through that one again tomorrow, so it's going to be an experience to relive. God damn it. They say, okay, so my experience with that game specifically, DMC Devil May Cry, is that the game itself is fun, but everything else is just off. Like, nothing makes sense for what Devil May Cry is.
Mm-hmm.
At least the combat is faithful though, it's fun.
The combat is fun. The one thing that I remember the most about DMC Devil May Cry was I was talking to some girl around the time that game came out. I remember sending her when I was at GameStop picking up the game. Freaking, I'm here to. What are you doing at GameStop? Oh, I'm picking up this new Devil May Cry game. It's gonna be so cool because we haven't had a Devil May Cry game in so long. And I got home, I loaded it up, and there's that scene in the front of it where the wig falls on him. And he's like, nah, I don't think so. And I immediately regretted every decision that I made that day to pick up that game. Oh, heck.
Oh, Lord.
It's a game, alright.
Yeah, it's an experience. Yeah. Oh, man, it's going to be fun to relive that one. Yeah.
It absolutely is. It's like, its combat is super fluid, and I think it's really fun in that regard. And I think the world building is super neat. It's just, God, if it was its own thing, it would just be better.
Yeah, honestly. And that's what everybody says. If it was its own thing, it will be 10 times better. Because, like, you tell me, you look at that design of Virgil and you tell me that guy is not Virgil. Like, that guy is just Jose. I don't know who he is, dude. Like, what the hell?
That's Frederick, the third brother that Sparta had out of wedlock.
Honestly.
Oh my goodness. I think it's like they do the cool thing with them being like Nephilim. In a virtual mobile. I know! We're not talking about that.
What the hell? What the hell is that? What?
There was I believe during the time of that game coming out, the phone company like Virgin Mobile or whatever like had a thing with Virgil as like the spokesperson for a little bit.
Oh no.
But Yeah, he also. Oh no, his phone had a V on it. No, oh God, it was at a fucking car. Oh God, fucking
Dear
hell.
Lord, dude, what the hell?
I think his jacket is like really cool, but if they gave him his old hair or longer hair, his design would have been great.
Yeah.
But it's
the haircut is the haircut throws everything out the window. Like, yeah, cool enough jacket, cool enough pants, boots, that's cool. The hair just throws it out of the window, everything.
looks like such a loser.
Dear Lord. Like, I know Virgil has the habit of just, like, using the blood to, like, put his hair on the back, but that's just an aesthetic thing. It keeps spiking out. But what the hell?
God, the whole like cool thing about it, and the reason why characters like that are fun is because yeah, they're losers, they're nerds, they kind of suck, but like they think they're cool, and so therefore it works and it makes them cool. It's like Virgil is honestly, if you wrote Virgil down as a character, it would be I need power. Power is all that matters. And that's edgy and that's lame and nobody thinks that's cool. But the fact that he believes it so much to the point where it's a big part of his character, that makes him cool. And it's DMC Virgil's like, oh Dante, we're gonna do the political intrigue, and I shot so and so. No spoilers for people who want to check that out, but I shot this character because it was all a part of my master plan, and my plan is so good. And Dante, you just don't understand, Dante. Come on,
Dear Lord, like.
Ugh.
And then there is the inconsistency of Virgil being so important businessman-looking guy, but then the guy use a card instead of just opening like dimensions with the sword that he can do and show he can do. Like what
I love the Yamato still has all of its properties, but then Virgil's like, no, I'm just gonna get my Prius today. You know, I just felt like taking like a nice leisurely drive.
Dear
just
Lord.
take care of that. That Virgil is just the word. I remember I saw the he cares about his carbon footprint. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
I remember seeing the first trailer for that game was I was at a what movie was it? It was like Batman or something. It was like one of the Dark Knight movies or something.
Yeah, I can't believe that, yeah.
It was like just before the movie started, this Devil May Cry thing pops up in the movie. I'm like, why?
What?
Why? Why are you showing me this Devil May Cry game before my kind of actually good Batman movie that I fell asleep in because it was like 3 in the morning?
Oh man, what the hell? I would appreciate it if it was like Metal Gear Rising, which, if I remember correctly, both of them were super close on release date, right?
Think so, but I'm also of the opinion of I'm that fun guy who's the contrarian of the fun VTuber game sphere of Metal Gear Rising is okay. I quite frankly think it is a serviceable game, but I think people look at the bombasticness of it too much and then say, yes, game good. I'm sorry, the parry system vehemently, maybe it's a thing with the PC port, but it doesn't work as intended. I bought it 3 times.
I brought it 3 times.
That sounds like a you problem, dear. But
I wish I had
the point being, the parry system works in the way of you press the attack button while pressing towards the attack, and it's a parry.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's contextualized by the way that Raiden is facing and not the way the attack comes in. So you have to pivot and then parry. And maybe that makes sense for a lot of people. And they're like, oh, you know, of course you would do that. Why wouldn't you do that? That's how parrying works. It's a video game. I'm playing as a cyborg ninja. I flipped a Metal Gear in the first 10 minutes of this game. I think the parry system could be pretty simple as I press this button and now I parry in 360 directions because I'm a cyborg ninja. It doesn't need to make sense.
And the fact that the parry can stop your attack, like if you use a light attack and you really want to attack the enemy before it does anything, you can be stopped because the enemy is attacking and the parry animation just triggers.
Exactly. It's one of those things where it's not like a game-breaking thing, but I played it. It was one of my more early streams. I modded it so I could play as Pepsi Man. But
nice.
it was one of those things where I was playing it, I was talking about it, and it felt kind of poo-poo garbage to use, and that's why I didn't use it all too much.
You're talking about MGR. We're talking about racing.
I ended up doing like the weird roll around jump dodging thing. I would lock on, and I would do the thing you would do in Dark Souls when you just like roll around the enemy clockwise, so that way they couldn't hit you.
Yeah, I usually don't know 9 times out of 10 what moves I'm doing because I'm just trying to parry stuff. It's confusing. That's why I usually I'm technically replaying the game a little bit just to get a hand on it. Because I finished it on like August of last year. I'm replaying it because I'm planning to do something with it later on. But the thing is, I tried out playing in the classic Metal Gear Solid type of thing, like just being like sneaky, right? And the game, it's like 1080 degree. It's weirdly fun.
Oh no, it's fun. It's not a matter of the game being bad or unfun. It's just that is the one system in the game that I will vehemently say the parry on a fundamental, maybe coding wise, not on a function wise, because it does work. It just is not set up in a way that's good. It should have its own button. That is a criticism that I have of the game. It's not anything else. The soundtrack is fun. The fights are really good. I got stuck, and the reason I know that the parry is just not the greatest thing in the world is because of the monsoon fight. And a lot of people are like, oh, but that's how you do that. That's how you get to learn the parry. It's the get good moment. No, Monsoon does the thing where he shows the flaws in the parry system because he disappears in that cloud and you have to parry him as he comes at you. And yeah, he speeds up as you go through it, but you always are pivoting. You pivot before you parry. And to me, it just doesn't feel right.
You get that not on Monsoon, you get even earlier with Mistral. Mistral does a spin attack near the end of her fight, and you have to pivot and try to parry when she goes back and forward between 1 or 2 directions depending on where she's rolling out. And then there's the underground like whip she uses on that same like section of the fight. Like,
and I also it's one of those things where it's not a matter of maybe the system being borked, but maybe Raiden is just too slow. Maybe it's something along those lines where, you know, if pivoting was a part of the game that people really, really wanted, and if people really, really like the pivot, if Raiden was literally just like 3 milliseconds faster, it would feel better because you would feel buttery smooth, like pivoting into your next parry, as opposed to having to jerk side to side over and over and then having to calculate, now I have to do this, or I want to get an attack in before I get my parry in, kind of like a tit for tat sort of thing. Because the way that these fights go, it's, okay, now I go all in, but I don't have a defensive way to handle myself, so I just play keep away for a little bit, or I'm at the mercy of the parry system, and it creates this kind of disconnect with how Raiden fights and how the game wants you to play, as opposed to how the system operates in of its own.
Yeah, there is some enemies that force you to do that. Like, there's a lot of enemies that force you to do that. The big guys with the gun on the hands, the cows, the two-legged like stun bombs. It's a pain in the ass sometimes when it comes to that. That's why I'm trying the sneaky way now to see how that feels, and it feels good. Like, it's a nice change of face of all the action, but yeah, the parry system is the one flaw on an amazing game. So at the end of the day, the experience is still great. I 100% recommend it. It's one of my favorite games of all time at this point. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. As someone that has played that game at the hell and back, it's a clear issue that is present not just on Raiden's, but also on Blade Wolf and Sam when you play the DLCs.
It's just a system thing. It's not a matter of like the game being bad. It's just something went wrong translating this idea into action.
Mm-hmm. I need to try the PS3 version to see if that's the case on on that.
It may
version.
just be the PC, because it might just be that.
Yeah, it happened with, for example, the quote-unquote remastered version of Yakuza 3, in which the PlayStation 3 version of Yakuza 3 feels a little bit better and less clunky than the remastered version, which is funny, because I tried out a little bit of Yakuza 3 on like the PS3 emulator, and it feels different, but not like you noticed like at first 20 minutes. You need to experience for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. If the parry was a button, that would be better. Yeah, can't deny that. Yeah, Wukiki's right here. Like the parry system on a hack and slash game that is like super fast paced, it's completely better compared to like having it as a directional mechanic like in a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, usually, movement will be also a good option. Like, give you more movement options. You're a ninja. You will not stop at like 100, like a 1 kilometer tall beast blade with your sword. You will avoid it.
The worst thing that I can say right now that'll piss a few people off is there's a game called Shinobi, and it's not good, but in my opinion, it does the ninja part better because it's very ninja-y, but in a hack and slash setting of ninja. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Yeah, Shinobi just feels more ninja-y. Raiden feels like. How do I describe it?
Raiden isn't technically a ninja because we're talking about modern age ninja. This guy is more the samurai than a ninja.
Yeah, exactly. I feel Raiden is more samurai-esque, and that's not a dig at the character or the way that the game works. But everyone describes it as like cyborg ninja. Best ninja games I've ever played have been the small bit of Shinobi that I played. The moving system feels super good. Tenchu Z, not any other Tenchu game. Tenchu Z. that also gets me some eyebrow lifts of that one. I like Tenchu Z, the fucking really bad one where you can play with your friends. And in my own opinion, the opinion that doesn't get me beat up behind Walmart parking lots is fucking Sekiro. Sekiro is a ninja game. It's not any other kind of game. You use deception, you use stealth, you do not fight fair. It is one of those things where I feel the modernized version of ninja gameplay kind of lies in Sekiro, just because it is, when shit gets tough, you do fight, but you don't fight in a way that normally you would fight as a character like this. You fight in a way of, here's a trick to blind you so I can get a cheeky hit in. I'm going to wear down your defenses so I can get one single strike in on you. Or I'm going to kill you before you even see me. It's not a matter of, I'm this badass ninja man, I'm going to cut you a bazillion times and then you die. It's one. You only need one and then you're good.
Yeah. You're basically applying the strategy and traps of a ninja to fight. And 9 times out of 10, as far as I know on Sekiro, they apply the Dark Souls rule of it. You are limited in some areas, but you have the movement of a ninja, so you need to use it at your advantage.
Yeah, and it forces you to rely on stealth. I think the only other ninja game, I just had Mark of the Ninja. There you go. It's by Klee. They made Cram. I'm trying to think of a popular game that they made outside of Mark, because Mark is known by a lot of people. Shank, if any of you know that game. But those games, that game studio is pretty damn good. But Mark and the Ninja, let me ask you something. How do you know you're a good ninja? Do people know your name?
No.
Do people know what you look like?
No, that's the point of a ninja. You are hidden in the shadows. Nobody is supposed to know who you are or what you are.
And that's what makes Mark the Ninja super cool. You're a ninja and you get this ancient tattoo that gives you like ultimate sneaking ability. It doesn't give you supernatural powers. It gives you the ability to unlock all your senses, and it basically takes the limiters off your body. However, it's gonna make you go mad. But the ninja, that's his name. We don't know his name. We don't know what he looks like outside of taking off his hood every once in a while. But he's removed all facial hair. He's removed all hair. He doesn't speak ever. He is like, you can play that whole game and you cannot kill a single person. You don't have to kill anybody. You can go full stealth. You can use fear. You can use smoke. You can use toxin. It's
distractions.
Yeah, it is anything that you can think of to get through a level, you can probably do it.
Oh, hell yes.
Which is awesome. And honestly, love that studio. Klee makes some great games. I talked about Shank for like a hot second, but Shank is very fun, side-scrolling, kind of beat-em-uppy.
Yeah, Madame says here that he also made Don't Starve, which...
Oh, they did?
They did? Like, wow, okay. Whoa.
I did not know that, actually.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Like, from a full stealth ninja game to literally surviving.
Yeah, Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included. That's those are probably the two big ones that people really know about.
Yeah, pretty fun games, both of them, honestly.
I've never played those games.
I played through Don't Starve a little bit, but that was back when they released. It was so long ago. The portfolio, right? Oh, the portfolio.
I just tuned into what's playing on the playlist that I sent you, and I'm gonna sing the praises of this fucking game.
Go ahead.
Really quick, because holy shit.
Yeah, do it.
This song is from a game called The Legend of Tian Ding. It came out last year. And you know the whole thing about like Taiwan and China being like two separate things, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a Taiwanese game. This is not a Chinese game. This is a Taiwanese game by a Taiwanese team. I actually recently found the old 2004 itch.io build of the game that I'm going to check out at some point. But it's made in a way that it's like old manga manhwa style. It's a action platformer about Taiwanese Robin Hood, and holy crap, I absolutely adore the art style, the visuals. The gameplay is super tight and simple, and the story is one of those things where it has two endings. It doesn't tell you it has two endings. And so when I learned about the true ending, I was super excited to go through it. I actually, this is really dumb, but one of the things that I want to do this year is there's a few games that I've played. I haven't beaten 2 on stream, but chat likes me doing like the voices kind of thing.
Yeah, the voice acting for the text part. Yeah.
So I actually want to go through Tian Ding again, collect footage, and I want to do like a actual dub of that game, because holy crap, that game is beautiful. It is a game I haven't played a game like it in a while. It is on Game Pass if you have that, so you could just play it for free.
Hell yes.
But it's hella cheap. It is worth every penny of it. The art style alone is worth half the price, but the story in of itself is... I remember I played that game on stream, and I didn't stop playing that game until we beat it. And then I had to force myself to have one break game in between one, because I was like, I'm going to finish this way too fast. And so I fucked around. I don't remember what I played in between. But I came back, I finished that game, and the ending we got on stream was the alternate ending. And I was fucking around on the side because I was like, oh, I love this game. And if that's the end of the game, it doesn't leave you dissatisfied with either ending. But I fucked around for a little bit. I found out you could do a few other things that I won't spoil because I know that at least one person in chat is actually playing it right now. And once you do the alternative things that you can do to alter some stuff, it alters the entire end of the game. Like, there is 5 extra scenes for you to like go through. It alters the entire ending, and it gives you a nice little epilogue too afterwards. So if you missed anything, you can go back through the game again, and everything you do in that epilogue is in fact canon to what happens in the game. And it's, God, I'm kind of upset. They had a plushie that they were trying to make, but nobody pre-ordered it because this is like a little Taiwanese game, and not a lot of people know about it. So the plushie does not exist now, and it's whatever.
Okay, so for people who wants to listen like to the playlist like on the side, I have 2 commands that are on the title of the screen. The one that gives you the playlist is !GPL. That gives you the playlist. I absolutely recommend 90% of this playlist because there are some of the songs here that I didn't like listen to it before that rock solid bangers. Like, holy shit. I wasn't expecting some of these here, like for example the Casante theme. That's the most like the newest one in here aside of like, I don't know. I wasn't expecting that one though. Did you play League?
I played League on the side. I refuse to play it ever on Twitch.tv. I don't like this video game. As a League player will always tell you. I play it sometimes to just kind of like, League has the thing where I like the characters. I like the feel of playing as the character, but I don't like playing the game.
Understandable. Like, you're talking to a 3-year-old retired player here that played through the most toxic server you can ever imagine. And let me tell you when I tell you the fact that some of the characters are super cool, like design, lore, whatever, it's cool. But when you enter the Rift, you have to deal with the people and the character maybe being boring in some of the aspects, because there are some like characters gameplay-wise that are super fun. They feel so good to play. But once you enter a game, it's just a gamble if you're going to have fun or have to deal with toxic people. It's, I hate it and I love it. It's so weird.
Yeah, actually, wish I was talking about Arcane there. Yeah, if you want to watch Arcane, go watch Arcane. You don't need to play League, but I will say, if you've played League at all and you know some of the characters, Arcane is enhanced a little bit. There's no spoilers because if for those of you who have seen Arcane, Varric is already in League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's already in the game, and finding that out midway through the series is cool.
Yo, when I found out after watching Arcane, dude, that was like, holy shit, the memes are true, oh no. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Like, League exists, and it's like, God, Riot, just make a different game, please. Like,
that's why,
Shadows of the Ruined King is so good.
That's what I'm waiting for Project L, dude. That's primarily the reason why I want Project L to succeed and to be something different, because League is just,
And the MMO also does look kind of interesting. It's just, if they do it right, that MMO will be as good, if not on par with Final Fantasy XIV, honestly. It is one of those things where Riot, fuck League. I don't like League, but that's because League has been around for so long, it's hard to fix League.
At this
but
point,
doing something on its own, holy man,
So,
like that would be great.
yeah, let's hope so. Also, yeah, they have so much money to throw at it at this point.
They have a lot
And
of
they
money to
have-
throw at it.
And they have the creators of the rollback netcode itself, if I remember correctly, working on the game. Like,
That is
Ooh.
insane.
yo, I can't wait for that to be like something. Multiversus already demonstrated that a free-to-play with popular characters, a fighting game free-to-play with popular characters, can hit very hard. And
Montez and A, baby.
yeah.
That's me. It's me. I'm number one Taz and A. I hate this.
Oh,
Played
God.
fucking multiverses with my wife there, and it was. I got so much crap because I played Tez, and I was like, I just don't use the native all too often, and then I lo and behold, I the best Tez North America. It's me, baby.
Oh man, I played through the open beta when it came out, like a lot, but I still didn't click with anybody outside of like maybe Harley Quinn and Finn.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I kind of like how multiverses kind of just fade, like no one is talking about it. It is, and that kind of blows. But I will say, the minute they add in some more recognizable characters, like from other generations, because Martin the Martian's in it now,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's like really cool. But they throw like he's not gonna get in. But if like Generator Rex gets in multiverses,
Oh!
I'm picking that game right back up.
Give
That's it.
me Generator Rex and Ben 10, I'm in. I'm in. Fucking sold.
That's the thing, though. Like, you add in characters, and people love that. Like, Fred Flintstones was linked, and like, think about it. Who doesn't want to play Fred Flintstone in a fighting game where he fights Batman? Like, stupid, but everybody would love it.
How about someone to represent Billy and Mandy, for example? Maybe Grimm or something.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, you add one character to this game, it instantly renews its player base. They added the Gremlins, and like nobody really cared about that.
But
they added
that-
Black Adam, and they're like, oh
shit.
interesting, awesome, cool.
Same
They had a
with Rick
Looney
and
Tunes
Morty.
character. Boom, in, cool, got it. But my wife was talking about if they add another Adventure Time character, not Fiona or Cake, but like say they put like Marceline in the game,
Oh, yeah.
instantly people are gonna go back.
Yeah, like, for example, Cake is already on the game. Like, they have an alternative skin for Jake there. They need to grab it. But yeah, Marceline will be actually really cool. Yeah, Marceline or Flame Princess, for example, to add some variety with the elementals.
Wilma, Bonnie. He needs to have like a Fruity or Cocoa Pebbles move. He needs it.
Yeah. Also, if they keep that scream, they have to do it. Like, they keep the classic Tom and Jerry screams. They need to keep the Flintstones iconic Velma scream. Something like that.
I did see Johnny Bravo was also on the leaked list, so it is one of those things where it's like you get anybody from we have a lot of people who play this game from a bunch of different generations, and
Yeah.
you give anybody like a character that they saw, they're gonna be like, oh heck yeah. Look, they put fucking Grape Ape in this game. Grape Ape's stupid as hell. Like, Grape Ape's one of the dumbest things in existence,
I mean,
but I would love to play as Grape Ape.
oh man, yeah. There's a lot of like Warner Brothers properties that can be in here. Like, I think it was after the Iron Giant release. I was checking on Warner Brothers property. They have a lot of things. Like, holy shit, the Speed Buggy.
What's the shark's name? I forget him, but like in the Boomerang Network, it's like like that shark.
Oh, I remember that shirt, but I don't.
Jabberjaw,
There we go.
Jabberjaw, the stupid
Dear
fucking game.
Lord. Oh, dude, they also have some of the Adult Swim's characters. Also,
That's
like
true. Yeah,
Aqua Team Hunger Force, Venture Brothers, Maybe even Eric Andre. Fucking
Honestly,
Eric Andre,
They
dude.
put a LeBron in, so
Yeah.
Eric Andre's got a chance.
Yeah,
Harvey
Eric-
Birdman would be great. Space Ghost could be in there too.
Oh, Space Ghost, yes. Wait, how is the name of this character that is with Space Ghost? That is kind of like a comedic relief. I don't remember his name. It looks kind of like a cat. Oh, I don't remember the name of that guy.
Moltar would be Popeye would be look, if Popeye gets in that game, I'm picking it back up and I'm becoming #1 Popeye NA.
Yeah.
This is not for debate. I will be like, honey, we're doing duos. I'm playing Popeye. Learn to work around this, please. I love you.
Yeah. Easy Rain Dog Pig there. Easy.
Queen Tyranny would also be
Ooh.
pretty good.
Yeah, you're calling out a lot of people with that one, dude. Holy shit.
It's that game has a lot of potential, and it still has a lot of potential. It's not a matter of it like having zero potential. It's just this game needs more IPs in it. But Warner Brothers, the way that it is right now, isn't rolling things out in a quick enough way to keep their game alive.
Yeah, and the sad fact about the game like coming out in open beta happening just before the animation on HBO Max, I think it is.
Yeah.
They were just cutting off movies and animations from a lot of their platforms just because. That was just the worst timing ever. At least, but yeah, the potential on that game is immense. That's why I also hope for Project L to be one huge success like this one was. Like
Yeah,
you know the characters that are already in. Look, and they might be feeling really good. Like I already want to play as Echo. Oh, no doubt. I'm picking Echo as day one. But yeah, there's
You
a
could
lot
do
of
so
potential.
much with the League characters outside of League, and that is the only reason that League holds any interest with me. I the characters in League that I actually give a fuck about are funnily enough, I actually really like Teemo, not because he's a little bastard, but I love Teemo because in lore he's an actual guerrilla soldier.
Yeah.
He's a super nice little dude, and you know, he's like, oh, I love my friends and my village. But there's like so many League stories where it's like, no, Teemo is the reason Vandal City is safe. Only Teemo. They
Jesus.
don't need anybody else. He's that scary. And I love that character trope because he's just a cute little dude, but he's like a fucking Rambo.
Yeah, that's when a meme that it's transforming into a skin. It's literally put into the character itself. Like everybody joked around with Teemo being either a Cold War veteran or a fucking devil, and those representations are in form of a skin. But the fact that the commando part, it's still part of his actual lore, is super funny.
It's great. And recently Cassante like showed up, and I love his theme. It's one of the best ones that exists. But what I love more about it is he's a monster hunter, and his whole thing is he has very like, I don't want to say like Black Panther vibes, but he has to learn to be a leader. And it's reflected very well in both his voice and the way that he plays, because he has two play styles, and it's, you know, oh, in my ults, you do the all-out thing, and now all my tankiness is now damage, because now I'm tired of playing it slow. I'm tired of taking my time. I'm tired of making sure everything is working. You're a problem, and I'm going to remove you. And then you immediately go back to, no, I have to control, I have to do this, and it's represented so well. The problem is he's in League of Legends.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thought I get every single time I'm thinking of going back to League. Oh man, I really want to get back and play as Jhin and just hitting the 4th shot and killing someone. But then I remember, fuck, I'm not going back to League. No, no, please no. That's why
I've given up League several times, and it's just.
Yeah.
I remember the only reason I went back was because Cassante got released, and I know after I get my fill of it, I will be done, and I will go back to shelving it.
Understandable. So yeah, there's some characters that literally scream at you, "Hey, come play with me," and it's it's tentative, but I'm trying to not give in because I know myself. Once I'm starting a grind, I'm not leaving.
Yeah. You can't get hooked if you never start. Listen, I will say this for one thing. League is not a bad video game. It is an experience in of itself that you can, if you start League, not paying attention to other people, in at least the chat, and you enjoy a MOBA, you can enjoy League. It's not bad. There's a reason it's still around, and there's a reason that it's still one of the most popular games ever.
Yeah.
But there's also a reason why a lot of people leave. Like, big content creators have been leaving League in droves because the game's just different.
Yeah.
Like, this recent patch is just not good.
Hell.
And I also am seeing it, being somebody who's played it for a little bit. I'm like, this is weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, Reef Scooch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Scooch's video and some other League content creators saying that this year in particular was the worst when it comes to content. Like, the champions were there, yeah, the other reward was there, but there was other things that were promised and they were moved on, like the IRI BGU or the rework on Aurelion Soul's kit. Those were moved on for this year, but they released like 100 plus almost 200 skins in a year. Like, what the fuck is that kind of content, dude? Like,
the one thing that I really hate about that is even without like Scooch being there, when Bricky stopped making League videos, it was one of those things where you realize, oh, something's going on with League. Like, League's not gonna hang on for a while. And then I think the best year, honestly, if we talk about recent League, is the year that Set was released, because that was when the game made sense. It was working. And then the new items rolled out, and the new shop rolled out, and the game had this identity crisis of not understanding what it was. And I remember that was the time where I put League down. I didn't play it for half a year. I didn't touch it. I liked the characters still, and I still looked into them, but I just didn't play League.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put a pin on this and a little pause. I need to use the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to be... Yeah, I've been holding it for a few minutes, but I cannot hold it anymore. So, VRV, real quick. Alright, I'm back. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Just when I went to the bathroom, Cassante started. Dear Lord.
Immediately.
Yes.
You see, this is it. This is the reason why, like, I saw this character and I was like, okay, it's a cool guy, whatever. I'll see that. And then his cinematic comes out. It's like, oh, it's all hand animated. It's talking about his backstory as it's going in, and then this scene picks up, and I'm like,
yeah,
damn it. Okay,
it's the Pantheon situation, dude. It's literally the Pantheon rework. Yeah, because that's one of the reasons why I want him on the fucking Project L game, because you can have something like Cassante's or Pantheon theme, and they just kicked in the correct timing for you to literally KO your opponent. Like,
you play like a Guilty Gear.
Yes.
Okay, you know the OG Dragon install, how it took over the soundtrack?
Yeah, it all just goes Dragon install and right the fire starts.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just think about it. Like if Pantheon like uses his ult or whatever, and like actually hits you with the stall collar, and then it goes into the like that shit.
yeah.
Or like fuck, if they put Kasante in there for his like all out version, they could like hit if he hits you against a wall and sends you through it, and then immediately you get the fucking like that works.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking irritating that it's League of Legends.
And okay, so one thing that I also really don't like about League is the fact that they have one of the most sickest soundtracks you can ever have, and with the most variety of it from any video game at all, and they don't use it. Like this is a thing for a loading screen that you will see for a couple of days, maybe a month, and they just go back to what they had before for a default for the year or something like that. It's frustrating.
The worst offense is Pike. Pike's theme is
bro, no.
so good. And yet they're just like, no, you get like the only way that they've used it in a proper way is when you ult people, they incentivize you to get that penta, because you get like the strings kick in, and then like as soon as you get that penta kill, they give you the stinger of and then that's it. And that's awesome, but god damn it, why when you're playing a character, and this goes for any game, why when you're playing a character, because I've been playing a lot of Divinity Original Sin with my wife, and the cool thing about that game is you select an instrument, and when like you get a kill or you do something cool or you get a crit, your instrument takes over the soundtrack. Ooh. And so like say you get a kill and then you pick the flute, then instead of it being the normal battle music, then it goes into like a flute version of the battle music, and if you keep going, your instrument still like continues to do that. And what I've noticed is if you get like multiple in one round, like the game continues to give you more flourishes with it. I don't understand why all these games have like such sick soundtracks and then they regulate them to only playing for specific things. Like, in my own opinion, we were talking about Metal Gear Rising for a little bit.
Yeah.
If you could play through a level of Metal Gear Rising and then say you don't get hit for a little bit in like level 1 or whatever, and then, how cool would it be if you were in one of those big fight like arenas that you had to go through a few waves of, and then Rules of Nature just starts blasting. It incentivizes you to continue to do well. Like Devil May Cry does that so fucking well. And that's the only game I can think of that does that. I don't like that like soundtracks are locked in a way that you don't get to like have direct control of when they show.
Yeah, like I'm not someone I don't like giving companies ideas for profit, but if you really think about it, if they give you the option to have the theme of a specific character or era of League of Legends in the Summoner's Rift as you play, you will actually get it. Like, it's something that it can be done, but I'm still baffled at the fact that they have such amazing music and not a way to use it outside of like in the game. And you can have it outside, like it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, you can hear it, no problem. But that's the thing. That's League's music that isn't in League of Legends. It's outside of League. It bothers me a lot. But whatever. In the case of like Metal Gear Rising, I think it will be a good idea, but I also think the themes work better on the situations they are in, because sometimes the themes kick in when something important on the fight happens. Like, yeah, Rules of Nature is pretty basic. You're fighting the robot, you have the instrumental version. But once you get to the climax of the fight, then the lyrics start. Same with the Jetstream Sam fight, for example. If you take Sam's sword out, you get only the instrumental. But when he recovers the sword, you get the lyrics back. It's kind of interesting. But yeah. I get your point, yeah. Some games just have the soundtrack, but they don't work with it. One cool thing about, like, I just have one game that kind of works with the soundtrack. It's Killer Instinct. If you are, for example, on a match, you have the theme of one character, and you're literally on the finish, once you do an ultra combo, each hit you do on that ultra combo literally has one like note of the song in it. It like transforms the song into the ultra combo itself, no matter the character you have. It's super interesting how that works.
Killer Instinct is a game that I played older installments of. I never played like the new Xbox version with the Battletoads.
Yeah,
that's how I remember that game. I don't remember it as like, oh, new Killer Instinct or Killer Instinct this year. I just remember the one with the Battletoad.
yeah.
Him.
It's an experience to believe. Like 2013's Killer Instinct is super fun. I
do, however, listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
That one just happens.
Yeah, the soundtrack happens a lot. It's composed by the same guy who did the Doom 2016 one. Yeah, Mike Gordon.
It's Mick Gordon. He doesn't miss.
Yeah.
You get Mick Gordon. That's it. It's good music.
Yep.
It's like Grant Kirkhope. Like, you want to think of like old collectathon stuff like that, you'll think of Grant Kirkhope because that's like his thing. Except for Conquer's Bad Fur Day because he doesn't like that game.
Yeah. Yeah, music in video games is super important, dude. It's what keeps you going in some cases.
It doesn't like, if you have, I don't want to say a bad soundtrack, but a mediocre soundtrack, then the game loses a little bit of its feel.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm gonna get a controversial opinion, but it might not be that much controversial. But DMC 1 and 2 are super weak because of that. Like, yeah, the game at least on the DMC 1, it's kind of fun, but the lack of like an interesting soundtrack is just way off-putting compared to like DMC 3 or 4 or the rest. And then DMC 2 has barely music at all. In some areas, like you have like a horde of enemies, so you have to solve a puzzle on a time limit. Maybe you have some music, but even then, it's just lackluster.
Ah, gosh.
Yeah.
Puzzles in games that should not have puzzles are, I don't know. It feels like it's like a quota, like a checkbox of, oh, I need to have puzzles in my game so that way it's a game. Like, controversial, not a popular opinion. Pokemon doesn't need puzzles. Why does Pokemon have it's about collecting like chinchillas and throwing them at each other. Why do I need to solve like an electrical current puzzle?
Like I'm supposedly challenging a quote-unquote boss on Pokemon. Why do I need a puzzle before it?
You love rolling this olive to show I'm a good Pokemon man. I love it. I love being able to take a test to show I'm gonna be good in the Elite Four. I just now like, the actual child in the Elite Four is like sticks and doing this Pokemon stuff. I'm a grown ass man, and you're making me take the SAT so I can actually challenge the Elite Four. What?
Yeah, as Wish said on the chat, at least let us use our Pokemon during this. Which the only place that I believe it happens is on the Victory Road in some games, that you need to use your Pokemon's abilities to cross that Victory Road in the first place. But even then,
like,
are really
fair.
like specific HMs you get on the game. Like, it's not like your Pokemon's natural abilities doing something, but it works. When it comes to the gym, though, I prefer just going through like just a straight path or maybe just a curved path and facing trainers than doing a puzzle, honestly.
Yeah, it's gameplay shifts are things that I think are great to keep monotony down, but also at the same time, sometimes I like the monotony of doing the same thing repeated forever. Custom Robo literally has two segments of the game, and it's walk around, talk to anime, go into robot fight. That's it. You don't do anything else. There is no other thing. That's it. And you know what? It's great. I love it. It's so good. I love making my robot and making them fight. I don't need to fucking sit here and be like, oh boy, I can't wait to go through the stealth segment and not be seen while I'm not fighting in my robot or doing the anime. Great. Love it. No, fuck that. Like, just let me do what I want to do.
Yeah, let me do what I'm doing on the box tells me to do. Like, yeah, I want to go to this point, and fight these enemies. That's it. Like, I have an optional collectible. Good, I'm not taking it. I'm going in. Then
It's like
yeah.
if you're playing Banjo-Kazooie and then they handed Banjo like a Magnum and we're like, all right, Banjo, I need you to go kill 50 zombies and collect their innards so that way you can then use the crafting system to create the key to this door. And he's like, what else? What do I do? Why?
It's kind of like what happens with Conkers too, if you really think about it. Like,
Well, Conker's is a
you
big
have
fever dream.
yeah, you have the the platforming thing and all of that, but then you have like the mini game sections. Like, I remember I think it was in skateboard, and then you have the Matrix section near the end of the game. It's a fever
Conker's whole thing, and the reason why Conker's shifts work is because Conker was literally built around the idea of what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing? And that's honestly gets me to talk about a game series I love. I talked about it before, but Postal is like that, where you're just like your mission, get milk. That's it.
Yeah.
There's your mission. Go get milk. And you go out and you go to the store and you go to buy the milk, and you can either buy the milk or try to steal the milk. And, you know, as a gamer, you're like, oh, my resources is my money. And so I don't want to buy my milk. And so instead, you go to steal the milk. And then the store owner comes out with a shotgun and tries to kill you. And you're like, oh, fuck. Okay. You have two choices now. You can either kill him or you can run. And so a lot of people, I remember the first time I ever played Postal, I went through it like the most mundane man ever. But eventually, there comes to a point where I have so much ability to do whatever because the system was built on what the hell am I doing? I have a button. It's literally the C button to whip out my schlong and pee. This is a thing I can just do whenever I want. I just take it out and piss. I just wherever I want on anything I want. Is there a mechanic behind it? No. You just can.
You just do it.
And so it's like, all right, cool, nice. And so now that this has been established, especially because Conker has that thing where it's like certain buttons, a random thing will happen. It's a context button.
Yeah.
And so that being said, like Postal's context is there is no context. And henceforth, a lot of people look at it, and if you really wanted to dumb it down, it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a very weirdly crafted, in my opinion, like it's like an adventure game in a really big sandbox where you can pee on people.
You can literally do whatever the fuck you want. Like, you want to do it normally, you want to shoot people in the face and then pee on the corpses, that's completely fine. You can do it. Go ham.
I love that series so much. It's so weird and unlike anything in existence. You go into the sewers and you find terrorists in there. Like, and this is a normal thing. You just accept it as it being normal.
Yeah.
You get a bow in the Doom in the Quake boomer shooter version of it that shoots dildos. Not arrows, the dildos. Because why not?
It's the swords.
No, man is not a terrorist.
Then you can use a cat as a silencer for your shotgun.
And that's the thing. There's like all these different things that you could do, or just choose not to. I remember the real thing that like made the shift for me when I first was introduced to the series was when you go to the library to return a book. It's like you say these things out loud,
And they are the most boring normal thing you can ever do.
and then you immediately go like, wait, so hold on a minute. So in this game, you went to the library to put your book back. Yeah, I did. And then I kid you not, the people who were protesting that books were bad because they killed trees decided instead that the best idea of protest would be to light the library on fire, go in there with high ordnance firearms, and kill everybody in the library.
Oh, so it
After
happened
I
again.
returned my book.
So it happened again when I was going to like literally just take my paycheck from the place I supposedly work on. A bunch of protesters just jam into the building with fucking M4 weaponry, and they just go killing everybody just because. Like, what the fuck?
I'm the psychopath here, huh?
Yeah, what the
neat.
hell?
I love going out and just doing because I've been playing Postal 4 on my own time.
Yeah.
Fun fact, very, very funny. It's now officially considered one of the worst games ever.
Really?
It has one of the lowest Metacritic scores in existence.
Wait, hold on. Let me fact check that. Hold on. Like, Postal 4 Metacritic.
No regrets. It has one of the lowest scores on Metacritic.
Metacritic is 30. 4.7 on user. Jesus. Okay, let me check the other one I have. Simpsons Wrestling. Need to check because this one was really low. Oh shit, you're right. It's 32, yeah. The one I was looking for. Wow.
Which is hilarious because the whole thing in Postal, and a lot of people who know the series, is the whole tagline of it is I regret nothing. So its own existence justifying that, and the developers being like, yeah, we did it, guys, we're officially the worst game on Metacritic of the year. And then they just work on making the game more stable and better with more content, and they just keep doing that because they care about their franchise a lot. Is super interesting to me. When you get Big the Cat to voice your main protagonist, I think you're winning. It doesn't matter about that. Oh no, they absolutely did. They absolutely did throw a fucking party about it. It is. It's hilarious about like that. It's a game that defies logic, and I think it being considered one of the worst games in existence is so fun, just because it is a game where if you play it, you'll be like, yeah, this is nothing special. But as somebody who plays Postal, and I play it mainly to unwind or just kind of like do whatever, and not only that, it means a lot to me as a content creator, not just a gamer. It's like it truly is one of those things where you sit there and you're fucking around in one of the worst things in existence, and you're like, I'm having a blast. I don't know what you're talking about. I went into the sewers and I shot a clump of shit with a shotgun to unclog this sewer, and then I was paid basically nothing.
Yeah. Once you, like, one thing is doing it, but then explaining it is the fun part. Like, that thing was funny as hell, and it's on supposedly one of the worst games ever made. What the hell?
It's one of those great things of, it's a franchise in which you show it to people, and the best part about it is when you first get into Postal, you're like, what? Why? What are you doing? I don't get it. Help! Please, I'm confused. And then after a little bit, and you embrace the idea of Postal. I remember I played 4 on stream for the first time ever after playing a whole lot of 2, and I walked in, and the first thing was beat a man to death with a sign. And everyone in chat was like, why? Why did you do that? I was like, I don't know. He looked at me funny. And then I pissed on his corpse and I walked away.
It definitely sounds like a game series where if you are on its level, then it's super great. But if you are not, then it's not going to be fun. Not going to be good for you. Yeah.
It definitely is, and it is one of those things where Running with Scissors did a thing where the first ever Postal, and I can't recommend that game to anybody. You remember Hatred?
Yes, the game that was supposedly way too violent that almost got removed from stores and all of that. And it had this really weird controversy. Yeah, I remember that trade.
So the first Postal is like that game, except it was made to be like controversial like that. And this is like a very this is a thing that makes me actually really respect this developer. The first Postal game, if you play it on harder difficulties, you the last level is at a school. And in the first Postal game, you can go through and you can kill all the bad guys who are shooting you, but you can also kill everybody else who's also there. And you're not the hero of this story is the main thing of it. But when you go to the school, you can't shoot anybody there. You can't. You're not allowed to. And then at the end, basically you just like collapse on the floor and you finish and it's like, okay, you're having a psychotic break. That's kind of what's going on. That's what this whole game was. And then when they did it in Postal Redux, which was released in 2016, and they redid the whole game, they took that level out. They added more levels, but they took that level out and instead they have you go to like your own funeral.
Yo.
And so it's one of those things where obviously, to be controversial is the name of the game, to be obscene. However, to respect something like that in the modern day and age where a lot of stuff like that became like something horrid for a lot of people, especially people over in the States, to remove something like that and not be like, haha, I'm doubling down because regret nothing. But it's one of those things where we don't regret doing that, but redoing this game, doing it in a way that's better, that was in poor taste. Here was something a little bit better to make it more interesting. And it commandeers a lot of respect of, I know to not do this. And I don't know. It makes me respect that series a whole lot more. And yes, Wisher, you could go to the developer's office and post it to and just... You could shoot Magazine. You could just blow his fucking head off. He thinks it's hilarious. I don't know. There's not a lot of game franchises that demand. I don't want to say demand respect, but like earn it throughout a way of without trying to be like, hey, look, we didn't do this thing. Praise us. Instead, it's like, oh, we did do that. That was really terrible. Yeah. We're not gonna do it again. and not a full blown. We're sorry. In the original Postal, we did this thing. No, it's just not in the new one because we don't like that
anymore.
Yeah, that's all.
That's fine. I don't remember which game was it, but there was one of the GTA games that had something to do with the 9/11. That they removed that just before release, just because of the 9/11. They almost did it.
Rockstar has both earned and lost my respect on multiple platforms. Listen, Red Dead Online needs some content, Rockstar. I would like to do my cowboy game, please.
Can we stop with... I think DLC on GTA 5 could wait a little bit more, We already have, like, how much? 50 at this point? Come on, dude. I cannot even play any of that because I don't have any like either level, equipment, or money. And I cannot get money because some dumb fuck idiot keeps blowing my shit up with the fucking flying bike. Come on. Dear
what are you talking about? You telling me you don't want to do the new update in GTA 5 Online, the gun van?
Oh.
Where you find the mythical gun van, a van that spawns randomly on the map that sells the rail gun in GTA Online, the strongest gun in the story mode that one-shots anything? Wow, who would have thought putting the rail gun in Online would have been smart at a random location in a van that nobody knows about? Great! Love it! It makes sense! Take my money, Rockstar! Great. I don't want a Red Dead Online update that I don't know. Maybe lets me have like a ranch. I can raise cows, make some milk, go to the store. I don't know. No, the gun ban. The great idea. I love it. This is fantastic. I love buying shark cards.
Come on, dude. I didn't even like it at the beginning when I tried online. It was just a mess, and it's just getting even worse and worse every update. I mean, I get it. Some of the updates can be really cool. Some of them bring quote-unquote beloved characters back, like Ep.20, but I don't give a shit about a DLC character from GTA 4. Honestly. Like, I barely play GTA 4, and trying to play that today? It's a mess, and it's almost unplayable because it keeps crashing on modern PCs. It's bro, come on.
You know, it'd be great
What?
if they remastered Max Payne instead of making more GTA stuff. Man, that would be fantastic. Can we get another Max Payne, please, or just redo the first one?
What about LA Noire? Can we get that?
Oh no, we can't get LA Noire. Sorry, that has its own controvery behind it that we can't talk about.
Wait. I know. I just remember what controversy it is.
Yeah.
The piece of shit who made it.
Yeah, that fucking Rockstar Montreal. It was.
Yeah.
Was it Montreal or was it?
I think it was Sydney. Was Sydney because it was made in Australia.
The Sydney studio. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I just remember that. It's just, it feels so bad.
I do like GTA Online. I played it for years with my buddies. That was like our online game. We ran every heist. We did. The time that we stopped, I believe, was after the Gunrunners update. Was when we were kind of like done and burnt out on the game. That's also because we started playing Monster Hunter. But
Hell yes.
It was something where we had so many memories in that game. But even us, who played like every other night for like 5 hours, 6 hours, we couldn't keep up with the demand that the in-game economy had because we never bought shark cards. Actually, no, I bought 2 shark cards in my life. In my life, I've bought 2 shark cards, and that was because I accidentally bought something on one of the finicky like websites in GTA. I was like, okay, well, I got to replenish my funds, and that was a lot of money I just lost. So I got like some extra funds, so I'll just, do that and get myself a little something extra. And then the other time was when they made the Batmobile, and I just wanted it. So I got the Batmobile, and that was the car I drove for the longest time. And that was my thing. I went around and I did like funny little, because when they forced us into public lobbies, I started going around in my Batmobile. And instead of being, like a little shit and blowing people's stuff up because, haha, funny, I actually went around in my Batmobile and lower level players who were getting bullied by higher level players, I would end up like just perching myself on a roof and just sniping these people at all times.
Nice.
So that's what I ended up doing in my spare time in between us doing heists, and I have good memories doing online. We played golf. One of the best ones that I remember was we didn't really feel like doing any work because we just finished a bunch of heists. We're like, okay, what are we gonna do? And we bought a bunch of like winter clothes and we took a bike trip to Mount Chiliad. And that was what we did that night. We went out. We got some like hoodies and stuff like that and beanies, and then we bought some like cheap bikes, and then we all got together at the pier, and then we just rode our bikes all the way to Mount Chiliad.
Wow, that actually sounds super fun. What the hell? Both the adventure and killing some like high level scum.
I did that, and then I remember in Red Dead, it was more this, Red Dead Online, I remember one of my most favorite, I love the Red Dead Online community. They're so different from the GTA Online community. It's people who like will literally walk by you, and it's the whole me of like, you're just gonna walk on by without saying howdy. You just say hi to each other and then you pass by. You move on with your life. You don't do anything. Except for some of the shitheads, but that's gonna be expected in an online game. Yeah. But I remember I was in Saint Denis, and I was there mainly just because I was like, okay, I got some stuff I gotta do over here, and I wanted to feel fancy for a little bit. And so I go out there and you stare at their hands, and the second you see them go for the holster, it's See, I don't have to worry about that. I'm the fastest shot in the West. It is. I was challenged a few duels online in the early days, so I learned really fast how to clear leather. So it wasn't even a problem anymore.
I have the ping advantage, you bitch. Shut.
It was one of those things where I don't carry any weapons in online except for dual revolvers because I am that confident in my ability to kill whatever moves with 2 of those.
Hell yeah.
But I was in Saint Denis, and there were, people running around because it's one of the more popular areas for people to hang out in. And I remember I was coming out of a saloon, and some guy comes up to me, and a bunch of players had apparently been like killing him or whatever, and he was all like, "Dude, you gotta get out of the city," because my character had darker skin, and this guy's character also had darker skin. I was like, "Why? What's going on?" He's like, dude, there are people, and they're gonna. Basically, it was the funny ghost men of Red Dead Online, like making a little meeting because they thought it would be funny to do that. So they made little outfits for them to look like that. And he was trying to warn me about that. I was like, okay. The best part about it was this was around the time in Red Dead Online when I was on my own, and instead of being a desperado, I dressed up as a preacher every once in a while. And so I found out where they were hanging out, and I was hanging out on a roof and just listening because it has that fun proximity chat in there.
Yeah.
And they didn't know I was there because I was like crouched down, and so nobody was looking up. And they're saying a bunch of like racist stuff and everything. And I was waiting for that. And the minute they're all like, "And we're not gonna take nothing from nobody, yeah, cuz," or some shit like that, I just chucked a fire bottle into the middle of their fucking meeting. And I cleared leather a few of them. And I literally yelled out, "If y'all want to come lynch somebody, I'm up here. Come and get me." And so a few of them, there's only one way to this roof, and that's one ladder. And I kicked one dude off the ladder, and as he landed on the ground, I picked him up with my lasso, and I just started yanking him back up. It was one of those things where I loved that moment in Red Dead, mainly just because it was something I could do. It was something in GTA that wouldn't fly because GTA has too big of a power creep with like certain things. There's a meta to fighting people. But in ye old cowboy land, positioning is just good enough. It was very fun to do something like that. And I remember I was chased all the way across the map by that entire posse of like 7 to 9 people.
Son of a bitch.
It was a true cowboy experience. I cut him off at Armadillo, and it was very hilarious because once there was enough open air that I didn't have anything to really hide behind. I ditched my horse in Armadillo and I walked into the desert. And so they had to come out into the open air of the desert, and there's that big hill right before you get into Armadillo. Mm-hmm. And I just perched myself up there around the time I first was getting a sniper rifle. And so I was taking them out from that far away. Only that game can you do some shit like that. And it's upsetting because Rockstar won't do anything with it. It's like, stop making us money.
Nah,
come on, do something.
We're too busy leaking up GTA 6. Come on. God damn it. That was intentional. That was intentional from hell and back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
There's a story like you're an actual kill.
I think it's time we close up here. Do you have anybody you want to rate?
I know that Grandpa is doing a partner push right now and showing off some other people in the VTuber community.
Oh, hell yes.
I think that'd be pretty rad.
Can you give me the name?
Yeah. It's Grandpa then VT.
Grandpa VT. All right, let me.
Yep.
Wait. I think this is the one.
Yep.
Yeah,
it.
this is the one. Okay, cool. Well, we are closing up the show here. Thank you so much for being here, Wukiki. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, of course, man.
All right. And for everybody else, thank you also for being here. You guys rock. It was literally super fun to have everybody here. And hope you guys have a good one. Before I go, I have to remind you also for the command of Wukiki in specifically, because it has also socials. A little shout out over there, and the playlist if you guys want to just chill out with the tunes we had today. And that will be it from me and from the show. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.